And now, making their way into the arena, hailing from the great pro wrestling state of Massachusetts, they are the hosts of the Top of the Cage podcast. Here are Bill and Juice.
And thank you again, Rich Palladino, the voice of New England, always making us sound so good. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the super producer. I am Bill, joined always by my tag team partner, my wrestling confidant. He is the future booking genius and the prince of pro wrestling podcasts. He is Justin Juice Cannon.
Boom,
Baby. Juice, that's a pretty great piece of little merch you got there. Some wrestling memorabilia, that's for sure.
Yeah, I got some new merch for the background, including that Santino Marella autographed Cobra. I was pretty excited about that. Yes. I got it off Pro Wrestling Tees Whatnot auction. I went into it planning to only bid on one thing for less than $30. And I bid on 4 things.
That's just how it goes sometimes.
Yep.
Yes, and for the listeners out there, Juice did the boom with the Santino Marella replica sock that is autographed by Santino Marella, which is very, very cool. But Juice, this episode tonight is not about Santino Marella. It's not about Impact Wrestling, not even about AEW or New Japan Wrestling for that matter too. Although there is a lot of things to talk about with all those companies, there is one big thing that if you're a fan of this show, you know we love as a concept. And even though in the past few years it has not been utilized to its full potential like it had in its incarnation, the WWE Draft is coming as of a week from this episode's release. Juice, I love the draft. I loved it when I was a kid. I still love it now. I know when I said it a little bit in my introduction of the draft itself that we'll be doing later tonight, but I just feel like in the past few years, they haven't utilized it to like the levels of like The Rock being the first pick and getting the crowd to chant, "You are an asshole" to Vince McMahon.
Yeah, hopefully it's a big draft that can get as fun as stuff like that. But also, like, I'm excited because we haven't had a draft since 2021. The last time there was a draft was the last time we did. Actually, it's not the last time we did a draft, but it's the last time we did like a WWE mock draft, which that was like our 6th episode. So it's kind of crazy that, we're here. We can do the next one. And 2022, they were just like, nah, we're good.
Yes, but here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to present to you our version of the draft. One of us will be Smackdown, one of us will be Raw. All current WWE superstars are included in this pool. There will be 9 rounds in total, meaning that there will be a total of 36 selections because we are doing 2 picks per round. There will be 18 picks per person, and we are not going to be talking about any free agent signings at this time. And of course, like the real WWE draft, there is a supplemental draft after. So for those of you who are theory crafting and really like to keep up the lore of this podcast, because I know there's so many of you out there that do that, we're going to have a supplemental draft outside of this, and you will never know, but have the closure to know that the supplemental draft is thought of and happened. All right, Juice, now comes the time where we select our brand. Do you have a preference? Are we doing a coin flip? How do we want to determine this?
You can choose the brand first.
Are we doing a coin flip to see who gets to pick the person first then?
Yeah, which historically I don't have luck because I've lost every single time to you. In the three drafts we've done,
and that is that's fair enough, I guess. But
yeah, but we'll do a coin flip for the pick.
All right. I feel like usually I ride Team SmackDown, but I think I want to be Team Raw this time around.
Okay. I'm pretty sure the last time we did a draft, you were Team Raw.
Well,
because that's when we did Raw had 3 picks and SmackDown had
okay.
2.
Well, that's when it had like actual implication, which I feel like I wonder if that's how the real WWE draft is going to be. How, because that's usually how it always has been, because Raw has the extra hour.
Yeah, well, the last time they did it, the reason that we're doing 2 and 2 is because they did 2 and 2 last time.
Gotcha.
Because we did ours before theirs, before they really fully released the format. So we kind of just do it off what they did last time.
Yeah, we're
this time. Yeah, we're ahead of time. And this will be a snake format. So switch every picks, and there's no round switch off. So when I say every other pick, I mean every other pick. So you won't have the first, say you have the first pick in the first round, you won't have the first pick of the second round, and so on.
And are we going to pick the 2 at the same time, or are we doing 1 and 1, 1 and 1, and then that's the round?
1 on 1. We're going to keep swapping.
Okay. Doing it a little fantasy football style. I like it. Makes me really want to draft, but the football season is 4 months away still. All right, Juice. Well, I have a coin conveniently in a bag right next to me. Do you want heads or do you want tails?
Even though tails keeps failing me, I'm going to go with tails.
I picked out literally the rustiest quarter that has ever existed. All right, so everybody knows that's heads. That's heads. That's tails. This will be a gentleman's agreement. I'm going to flip it right in this area, so there's no excuses. You can't say I didn't manipulate it at all. As, of course, it flies off screen, but it is heads. Heads prevails on this one.
Again. I suck at this.
I truly have luck with very mundane things like that. So at PAX, I won a Pokemon card pack for beating somebody at rock, paper, scissors. It's literally just like a 33% chance for the other person to not throw what I did. And then you add Samoa Joe to the mix, and then you get a 62 2/3 chance of winning. It really, it really adds up.
Okay, Steiner.
Well, Juice, I'll kick us off with the first pick of the draft. I'm picking a man who I truly believe is at the pinnacle of his game right now, and I think could be a world champion if Roman Reigns did not have 2 championship belts. In fact, this man is the only person to technically have a victory over Roman Reigns in a championship contest of this 900 plus day, almost 1,000 day reign. And that is Seth freaking Rollins.
Fuck. I had a feeling the first pick was going to be Seth Rollins because I was going to take him if that was my first pick. Good pick, man. Good pick. You go, Seth. I'm going to go not Roman Reigns. I'm going to go Cody Rhodes. He's super hot right now, even with that loss. So I'm taking Cody. I'm taking the American Nightmare.
I think that's a good pick. He was definitely going to be my next one if he did not take him for any reason. And I actually am not going to go Roman Reigns here either, because I believe that there is another champion in WWE who has a very long title win streak that is going to be the future of this company. He recently had retained his WWE Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania in a 5-star classic with the likes of Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, both former multiple-time WWE champions. And that is the Ring General, Gunther.
I hate you. Come on, man. That means
that the Intercontinental Championship is also coming to Raw.
Okay, well, I'm going to take Roman Reigns, take the Undisputed World. Because you took my Gunther from me.
They took your Gunther from you. Well, Zeus, the benefit of our snake round is that you now get to get a back-to-back pick here.
This is tough. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to get Seth, Gunther, and Cody, but I was hoping I would get 2 of those. I was hoping you'd pick Roman Reigns, but I don't know. Roman Reigns always falls in our draft, so I should have known that.
It's because we know he's a part-timer and we don't want that on our show.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go someone who's not a part-timer. I'm gonna go with one of the hottest, another hot faction leader, definitely a main Venner, main Carter. I'm going with Finn Balor, baby. I think Finn Balor and Cody would just work magic.
That is a incredible pick. I really commend you for that because I had Finn a little bit lower on my draft card because I was hoping that he would end up slipping a couple rounds. I was really hoping to get him round 3 with my wraparound here, but that is unfortunate and I am okay with it. I'm going to pick someone that I think is going to go relatively high in this draft. Like Finn Balor, this man is leaving NXT on top and is going to be one of the more sought after, quote unquote, free agent signings because he's going to be coming up from NXT. And I don't know if we're allowed to do this because technically he's not on the current WWE roster, but he is going to be a superstar. And if he isn't drafted, I am going to be morally shocked. I am taking Braun Breaker.
When I say all WWE superstars, I do include NXT. So Braun Breaker is very much fair game. Good pick. I'll be honest. If I was going to take him, it wasn't going to be for a while. But that's still a good pick, especially now. I'm getting even more interested in him than now that he's turned heel. But I'm gonna go with our first tag team. I'm going with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens because those are guys that I can split up, and I just got increase my main event pool even further. So I'm going to Sami and KO, and they're just red hot right now. So I think that's the first tag team off the board.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. They are red freaking hot right now. But you want to know who else is red hot because of that? I'm going to go my wraparound pick here, Juice. I'm going to parlay them together to be a little thing here because while you have the leader of the bloodline on your brand, I am going to be taking his table members. I am choosing both the Usos and Solo Sikoa.
Okay, that's actually that's a good move. Taking the wind from my sails. Well, ladies, they're not going, so I'm gonna go with the first lady here. I'm gonna try my best to keep Judgment Day together. I'm taking Rhea Ripley here, keeping my SmackDown Women's Champion on SmackDown.
And if you are taking Rhea Ripley, it is only right for me to take the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair.
Good call, because I was going to steal your champ if you didn't take her now. Rhea Ripley needs a baby face. And there's one baby face that I've been waiting for her to go in the ring with that we surprisingly haven't. It's been hinted, but it hasn't happened yet. And it's not going to happen anytime soon. But in my draft, it probably will very quickly. I'm taking Becky Lynch here.
Whoa. I really thought that was going to be another woman, but you do get your back-to-back here.
Oh, that's true. With this pick, I'm taking my boy. I'm taking the man who's recently returned. I'm taking Matt Riddle. I'm building him up. He's going to be the second biggest babyface on my brand after Cody. Bro.
Well, I want to crush your heart and your spirit. Because when I thought you were talking about building up a babyface and something that's been hinted for a very long time, especially something involving Rhea Ripley, I thought we were talking Liv Morgan. So with my next pick, I am taking Liv Morgan.
Good move. And okay, so I'll take the next pick of this round. I am honestly doing this on the fly. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take the Viking Raiders. I think that would be a fun heel tag team to go with Sammy and KO. Honestly, I kind of think they should be booked more dominantly, so they definitely would be under me.
Well, I'm going to take 2 tag teams here on the bend then, because I would like to keep Gunther and his band of lads together, and I am choosing the rest of Imperium. But of course, that puts me with 2 heel tag teams on my roster. So I'm going to need a face tag team for them to go out and have banger after banger with. And that might hint at another tag team, but I'm not picking those people because I am raising my red cup and welcoming the Street Profits to my brand. And I also would like to say they probably won't be lasting too much longer together as a tag team. I want to get them the tag titles, and then I want to break them up because I want both those guys to be single stars, because after the WrestleMania Tag Team Showcase, granted, they've looked awesome, but both of those guys fucking shone in that whole entire match, and it just made me really want to see them both be singles wrestlers.
Agreed. Everyone always talks about Montez Ford's potential, and I completely agree with it. He's a stud, and I do agree that he's a future world champ, but don't sleep on Dawkins, man. I think Dawkins great too. I think he'd be such a fun mid-card champion. And just, I don't know. He's my favorite of the 2. But so with my pick, I am going to go with another one of my favorites and one of the best heels around. I'm going with Bailey here.
There ain't no stopping us now. We'll celebrate on the floor. I feel like I need a boost to my roster here with a few more of former world champions. And I am going to be taking somebody who I believe, although he is getting older in age, has a lot left to give to the wrestling world. And although that his WrestleMania plans got scrapped and he got absolutely screwed in his position, he just walked out on stage and held up a trophy. I am taking Bobby Lashley.
Great pick. Good value. I've been thinking about him for a while, to be honest. Since probably I took Sammy and KO, I was considering it. So that's a good pick. Good steal. Definitely uppercutter guy. I think I'm going to take, I got 4 male single stars. I got a tag team that I can split when I need to. So I feel like I'm fine with taking a big name part-timer that gets plenty of pops here. I'm taking Brock Lesnar.
Another good value pick. It was genuinely between him and Bobby for me. I actually have them like literally right next to each other in my draft order. So good value. But this is your double pick here. So
yep. And I am prepared. I'm going to take another tag team here. I'm taking the New Day. I know that Kofi's on the shelf as well as Big E, but I'm just going to take him. Kofi will be back soon, but I definitely need a face tag team once I split Sammy and KO, which isn't going to be soon if I'm running of things, but it will be eventual. It will be within a year. Probably. I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, I only have one more tag team to take, and I'm like debating if I want to pick a face tag team here or if I want to pick a tag team that I just want a particular person that's in it. And I think I'm gonna go with the team I actually have on my list right now and not the team that isn't on my list. And if you pick that team, I will certainly say it. I'm going to go with the team that I'm having a lot of fun watching right now. It's a dynamic in WWE that we don't see very often for a tag team, and one that, in all honesty, both guys in the role are doing very well in. And if they got the one-off tag team titles after everything with Sammy and all the other people cooled off, I wouldn't be hurt by it. And that is Braun Strowman and Ricochet.
I actually like that pick. That's a good pick. And with my next pick, I don't need to, but I'll close out my tag teams. You pick actually, am I going to close out my tag teams? No, I decided I'm not going to do that. I am going to take another lady, I think, another woman wrestler. I'm gonna take Roxanne Perez. I'm gonna take the young baby face, and I'm calling her up. If Braun's getting the call up, I'm gonna call up the former NXT Women's Champion.
Well, I think I'm going to start really boistering my women's roster here because I have 2 and you have 4. So I'm going to need to start taking some people here. I'm going to take somebody who unfortunately has a defeated streak at WrestleMania. This woman has never won at WrestleMania. She was also somebody who debuted a absolutely sick look. She had a great entrance, and I think is a woman who still has multiple title reigns left in her. And she is the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka.
That's another great value pick. But I kind of forgot about her. I think that's why I didn't just take her. But that's a good value pick. I feel bad.
Well, there's going to be
I wasn't ready for Asuka.
There's going to be another woman I think is flying under your radar who I think is easily able to be coming back on WWE television come the draft, and that is the goddess Alexa Bliss.
Another good pick. That's a good swing. So I'm going to go back to the singles well, and I'm actually going to split a tag team to make this pick. I'm taking Chad Gable. Chad Gable is a stud. I want him on my brand. It's time for that singles push. It's rumored. It's time to make it happen. I'm making it happen in our fictitious draft. Welcome to SmackDown.
I really hope that that's like how it happens. That have they announced who's going to be the GMs of these shows? Are they just going to exist in their own ethers?
I don't think there's going to be like actual set GMs. I think it's just Adam Pearce is the GM of both. Like
just Adam Pearce.
Yeah, but it would be cool if there was. I mean, you know, the 2K games, there's plenty of GMs. They should just make people GMs. And they always have like GMs for each brand in the story modes too. Like just, I don't know, make it real. Just give me GMs. Like Mandy Rose was a GM.
is Regal's quote unquote no compete gonna be up by then?
By the draft? I don't think so. I think it's at least a year, I think. He has to be off TV.
I mean, you could always do the Raw Anonymous GM again. That's who my GM is actually gonna be. The Anonymous Raw GM. It's gonna eventually be William Regal. Sorry, Tony Khan. Outsmarted you. I've already finished my tag team. My singles, I have 5. So I can pick 2 more singles and 3 more women on both ends. I think I'm going to go with another woman here. I think I am also going to be doing a NXT call up here, but more for the fact that I want her to finish out her NXT feud. Like she's not going to be coming up right away. She's in a feud in NXT that I think needs to close out. And in all honesty, she might probably be the one out of these 2 women that stays in NXT once this does actually happen, because I do feel like this is a real possibility. But I'm taking Gigi because I love her look. I love the way she is in the ring. She has improved greatly. I think that she really has this like going a little more psycho character down, and I think that she has a ton of main roster appeal.
That's a good pick. I like that. Yeah, just does have a few to be finished, but that's easy to do, and like that can happen while she's still part of Raw. We've seen it happen before in drafts, so that's a good one. All right, well, I got the swing here. I'm gonna take Alba Fire for NXT. I know she's the tag champ now, but I've always been a big fan of her. She was Kaylee Ray, and now I think she's just so good in the ring and does great character work. So I'm moving her out because I think it's overdue. She's just I think a part of why there's kind of been a ceiling on her matches on NXT is because she's just she has to hold back. Like you could tell watching that she's slowing it down for these young ladies, which are a lot of great ones. Like Fallon and Kiana, they got a lot of potential. Well, I think you'd be in denial if you don't watch them. You can tell that Alba's slowing it down. It's not like she's wrestling Mako or Rhea Ripley anymore or Toni Storm. She's wrestling these young 20-year-olds and has to slow things down for them. So I'm taking that as one of my swings. The next is another just me taking one of my guys, someone who hasn't been booked very well on the main card so far. I'm taking Johnny Gargano. I'm taking Johnny Wrestling. You know, that's my boy. I'm taking him. It's mine. Let's do it.
Well, I'm going to take your other boy, who I really thought was about to be the punchline of that. And I am going to say, yeah, with L.A. Knight.
Amazing pick. That is very good value pick there. So I'm going to take my next pick. I think this might be, I'm just going to count real quick. 5, 6, 7. No, actually, I took all my males, so I can't take anymore. I lied. So I'm going to have to improvise. I am going to take my last tag team, I guess. I'm just on the spot here. I'll take Butch and Ridge, I guess. I'll take, what's their tag team name?
The Brawling Brutes.
Brawling Brutes. See,
I'm very surprised. I thought you were going to, I thought you were going to keep Judgment Day together. You're going to hope that you get them in the supplemental draft here?
That would have been a good idea. I think I just wanted another face tag team. Oh, wait, no, I need a heel. I don't know. I think I just wanted Butch. I wanted Pete Dunne. I wanted Pete Dunne mainly eventually to split these guys up.
Hey, that's your power as the GM. So this is my swing here, correct?
Yeah.
Well, since I know I don't have to worry about you poaching any other men, I'm not going to pick my men right away because this is going to be my last two women, I believe, actually. I believe I only have one more pick after this. And I am going to take...
There's a couple big ones that
there is a couple big
taken.
ones. There is
like
a couple
3
big ones. Well, there's one that I really don't want. And it's somebody that's getting like kind of positioned heavily in another division right now. Actually, there's 2 people I think that could fit that bill. I am gonna have an eye to the future. I with both my picks here, I want to have an eye to the future. And one of those eyes lives in the sky. And I am going to take one of your women's faction members, and I am taking Io Sky. And I'm going to have her and Oscar wrestle for 20 minutes each
night. And I'd watch each night, and it would still feel fresh, even though I was complaining about rematches in WWE.
And for my second pick here, I'm going to actually go with a woman who is a former NXT Women's Champion, one of the, if not the most dominant NXT Women's Champion of all time, someone who I have said time and time again has just been made to look like a chump on the main roster. And while she is getting positioned with Ronda Rousey currently to, be dominant in this women's tag division, it's time for us to get Shayna Baszler back to being a fucking killer.
So with my next pick, I'm going to take, because I have to take a lady. I think I'll go with, it's getting hard. I'm gonna go with Raquel. I'm gonna go Raquel Gonzalez. I think that's a person who has great chemistry with Rhea Ripley. And yeah, well, me and you, we're splitting up the women's tag champs because that belt doesn't matter. And if we're running the company of WWE, neither of us want that belt around. So bye.
Oh no. What a shame. Yeah. So I have one last male superstar to pick here. And there's a lot of people on this list that could be a lot of former world champions on this list. So the current champions technically still on this list. NXT call-ups that could easily be in the draft, and guys that have been on the fringe of coming out of the mid card for years now, or guys that have already gone that threshold and maybe we just haven't seen in a while. Oh, it really pains me to make this decision, but I just love brand warfare, and I'm doing this for the sake of brand warfare. I am taking the current United States champion, and Raw is going to stay the A show because I am taking A-Town down Austin Theory.
I was curious who you'd take because this is some big names missing, like Shinsuke, who's been off TV, but there's been rumors of him returning. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. AJ. Yeah. Miz. Dolph.
Another one.
Yeah. This and it's a
the Homo list. Sapiens are not very happy right now.
No, they're probably furious. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people missed. We just didn't take, and people are probably like, why'd you take Johnny Gargano and Chad Gable over some of these guys? I'm like, I don't know, because I love them. It's my brand. I can do what I want.
My brand has an eye to the future. I have my established stars and my up and comers and my guys that are on the fringe of breaking out of the mid card. I'm happy with my roster right now.
Yeah. Plus, there's an off-air, never announced draft, so it's not like those people are leaving our company. Right, so they're still here.
True.
So I'll make my last pick before we to wrap this all up. My last woman wrestler. You took one of Damage Control's members, but you won't. But I am keeping the other one. Dakota Kai, welcome to SmackDown. You're staying with Bailey until I split you up in like a month. And I know I went from just not liking Dakota to slowly warming up to her and now being a pretty big fan of her, which is just, I don't know, quite the change. But I don't know. I'm Team Kick. I like Dakota. So I think that's a good Miss Irrelevant, who is definitely not irrelevant.
There's some very noticeable women that aren't on our rosters here, Juice. Of course, guys like girls like Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, Zelina Vega, former Queen of the Ring. I mean, Shotzi, Emma, Chelsea Green, a lot of women's talent that we did not say.
I think we did a good job at taking all the bigger ones, except I think like Charlotte and Ronda. I think those are the only two that really slipped through the cracks. No, shade.
I don't. There's a little bit of shade towards Ronda. Let's act like there isn't. But
yeah. I mean, I meant shade to the other women that weren't picked. I mean, I didn't take Ronda because I hate her, and I was not gonna take her. Like if you took her like in the first round, I wouldn't that's understandable, but I had zero plans going into this draft, to be honest, except one, and that was I'm not taking Ronda Rousey at all.
Yeah, and same thing with Charlotte too. Charlotte recently has just kind of been win championship and leave, and right now she just left. And I mean, I don't want to say like if she never comes back, I would be upset because that's just like kind of morbid, but I think that I would like to see this women's superstars, the ones that I picked, the ones that you picked, the ones that currently are champions, the ones that are up and coming, still fighting for their first championship. People who want to come back into that limelight, like people like Liv Morgan. I think that there's just a lot of potential in WWE. I know for a long time we've said who has the best women's roster, and we've said NXT had the best women's roster. But in all honesty, WWE's women's roster right now, in terms of what they can do and what stories they can tell, and granted, they're not telling the best stories. I'm not going to lie. I really am not a fan of the tag team stuff. Like we said, we're splitting up the tag team champs because we just genuinely don't care about the titles. I don't know. I think that WWE is in a position where after the draft, there could be a little bit more focus on women's talent because there's just a lot in the division right now. And I would like to see all those ladies perform at the tip top.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't have that much hope for interesting stories in the women's division because that's never been Vince's focus. And that's what it seems like we're going back to Vince calling the shots. So I won't hold my breath, but I'll hope. I'll dream. I'll pray.
Well, Juice, for those who do want to hold their breath because they're typing to us on Twitter or Instagram, they can totally do so on social media. Where can those people, because they're holding their breath and we're just holding out them holding their breath right now, where can they find us on social media?
Yeah, they can go to Twitter and they can type capital T, capital O, capital T, capital C, underscore, capital P, lowercase o, lowercase d. That is our Twitter handle. And then you hop over to Instagram using your little smartphone. You just click on the new app and you type TOTC underscore POD.
Yes, and as we come crashing down to the mat on this episode of Top the Cage, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. And if you are listening to us on Apple or Spotify and you do not leave us a 5-star review, that means that you, specifically you, that person not leaving us that 5-star review, will not get 5-star content, and that is just a fact.
Fact.
And again, thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.